What's going on, guys? Let's get this started. Japan studio. Well, the graphics already look really nice. Blue int. Audio sounds really good. Much better than the first one. Pretty ominous. Wow. Wow. The skies look so good. Oh, it's gonna have the same good music, isn't it? Wow. That was epic. He looks so good. The textures are gonna be so good. Wow. The graphics are so much better than the PlayStation 2. So this is like a full remaster. They've updated everything. Draw distance is great. Assuming, of course, this is accurate to what the game will actually look like. Is that it? I wanted more. 2018. Okay, only next year. It's not bad. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Let's look at some of the more interesting parts of the trailer. Okay, right here. The textures of the plants are so much better. It's night and day, which I guess you would expect. It is almost as good as Battlefield 1. I would say it's a little worse. The draw distance as well isn't perfect. That might just be because there's a lot of fog in the game to kind of cover that up. I'm not really sure. But the skies definitely look better. It has a kind of artistic quality to it. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, it's Blue Point. I said Blue Int or something. The logo is a little unclear about that. Just to clarify. Okay, I didn't play the entire game, so I'm not sure who all these people are, but I'm very curious. Here are the God rays streaking across the sky. Very impressive. And the water effects as well. Impressive. Not the best I've seen, but definitely very good. You can see how the animations look kind of as bad as they did in 2005. I'm a little worried about that. These rocks here look so good. Can't wait to actually fight this in game if I ever get this game. Looks epic. Okay, here. This is the Colossus I fought in my part 1 of the series. And it looks fantastic. I'll throw up a comparison between this and the original one real quick so you can just see how much better it looks. And I don't really have any connection to these because I didn't fight them, so I'm not sure how well they look compared to the old one, but they do look very good. I just don't have a baseline to compare them to. Okay, this is the same first Colossus. The highlights again are very blown out. I think that's a stylistic choice. I'm kind of okay with that. In the first one, it was just way too much. And of course, all the gameplay is the same. There's a Polygon article here I'll bring up. This Polygon article talks about how the game content is basically the same, but all the assets are being remade. Blue Point is the same studio who made the HD remake, and I'm pretty sure the Japan studio as well is the studio who worked on that. And there's an updated version of the controls, which I'm very happy to hear. That was one of the things I was afraid about, because the controls weren't that good. And for people who want to just play the old controls, there's an option for that as well, so that's great. Okay, let's have a look at the PlayStation 3 HD remake, because that's probably the biggest competition for this new PlayStation 4 remake. So to me, the PlayStation 3 remake looks like it's definitely worth playing if you have a PlayStation 3, but it's not that big of an improvement. It's basically just 1080p with a locked 30 frames per second, which is nice and all, but I could probably deal with playing the PlayStation 2 version. The jump to PlayStation 4 though, that is massive and probably worth the extra money. Is it worth $60 though? I'm not entirely sure. What's the line between cash grab and actually trying to provide something for your customers? I would say a $40 price tag is probably warranted the most, but if they weren't ever going to make the game unless it was at a $60 price tag, then I think that's okay. There are many reasons why a game should be remastered. One of them is a lack of easy or wide accessibility. This means that the game is on an older platform that a lot of people just don't own anymore. Or maybe it requires an older interface like component cables. Another reason is it just has outdated graphics or controls. If the graphics are absolutely awful, just unplayable basically, then most people aren't going to want to go back and play it. But if it holds up, sort of like Mario games from back in the day, then it's usually okay. As for controls, if modern players aren't able to even figure out how to play the game, then it probably isn't the best. This reason is probably the least important, but it's probably the most visible difference between remasters and the original. Also, if there's a high demand for the game, then it's worthwhile for publishers to make it, and they probably will. For example, Skyrim, though it came out just a few years before and it was available on Xbox 360, which most people already own, there was a high demand for it because people were still playing it. And probably the most important reason is the game needs to have a unique concept that games currently being made can't deliver on. This is why a Battlefront remake doesn't make any sense, because they're making a Battlefront game right now. As for Shadow of the Colossus, it has a very unique idea that most games today just don't deliver on. Tied in with the unique concept is it just being an absolute iconic game, like some of the original Zelda games. Even though there are sequels still coming out to those games were so well loved that it would be worthwhile to make them. These are just my big 4 reasons why some games should be remastered. There are obviously plenty of others, so tell me in the comments what you think. And as always, thanks for watching.